I thought the dryer was shrinking my clothes. Turns out it was the refrigerator all along. It takes a village to raise a child to be a follower of Jesus. While it's true that parents are primarily responsible for laying the foundation of love and faith in their child's life, experience shows and studies validate that as children grow, they benefit greatly from having a village of people surrounding them who can verify, reinforce, and expand upon the foundation the parents are laying.
We are so thankful for the village that God gave us when our kids were growing up. We had friends, we had volunteers at school, we had our work partners, people that really poured into our kids. And while our kids got used to hearing us say the same things over and over, it seemed like they listened when they heard the same thing from someone else because they felt loved and valued by those people as well. So we are so thankful for our village.
But not everybody has a natural village around them. And so what might not happen naturally can still happen intentionally. So as you think about discipling your child, we want to make sure that we round out that discipling process with the same thing we see Jesus doing, namely that we identify and invite into our family's life that village of people that can, again, verify, reinforce, and expand upon the foundation of love and purpose that our family has been laying. So, who are those people that can do that for you? Who is the village that you can invite to be part of your child's and your family's life? Ideally, a village will include relationships with extended family, peers of the child, non parent mentors, ministry professionals, and ministry volunteers. So here's how it works. When your children are small, you, of course, are the one they watch, believe, want to become like. You are their unrivaled hero. However, as they grow, they start looking around to see if others also share these values and have this kind of lifestyle. It's not bad, it's just that they're growing up. They're looking for verification, they're looking for reinforcement, they're looking for more information. So make sure they find it.
By having a village of relationships where they regularly interact with peers and adults who have the same values and they see themselves as trainees of Jesus as well.
As we wrap up, it's really easy to think about all the church professionals and ministry volunteers that you would love to have in your village for your family. And indeed, you want to include them. There's no doubt about that. But just a word of caution of delegating discipleship entirely to church professionals and volunteers. The result is that it doesn't work. And here's why. 85% of Christian parents believe they are responsible for discipling their own children. Of that 85%, though, a majority of them believe that they are fulfilling that responsibility by taking their children to church. Of that, a majority then spend little or no time at all having spiritual conversations with their children during the week. The majority assume the professionals and volunteers at church will be able to raise their children to be followers of Jesus for them. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. Children are designed by God to watch, imitate, and become a version of their parents. Parents may think that professionals and volunteers can do a better job, know more information, are more holier than they are. The only problem is they're not their children's parents.
So we as church professionals, we'd like to think that we had more influence as a pastor or a kids and family ministry director. But really, we know, and we know as parents and we know as church professionals, that our main discipling has to come from our parents.
There's a really easy way to kind of see this. There have been many studies that have been done that show that even the most active church families spend about 40 hours a year in church programming. So the average family, an average year, it's about 40 hours that they are participating in Sunday school, children's ministries, youth ministries, whatever it might be. 40 hours over the year. Compare that with the 3,000 hours a year families have together. But if you compare 40 hours versus 3,000 hours, who do you think is going to have the most influence? Our fallacy in our thinking is that somehow the 40 hours that our children will have with ministry professionals and volunteers will override the 3,000 hours of influence that the family has on the child. And now you can see 40 versus 3,000. Of course, it doesn't work. It doesn't work, and it doesn't work that way. That's not how God designed children. On the other hand, instead of turning over the discipleship of our children to the church, we team up with the church. Turning over doesn't work. 40 versus 3,000. Teaming up with the church, that works. 40 plus 3,000 hours. And so now we go to the church and we participate in the programs, and now we come home. Now we've had that teaching. Teach them, show them, send them, circle up with them. Now we've had that good teaching that can be a prompt and a catalyst for how we approach each day. What did Jesus give us to believe? What did he give us to do? And that it really helps us then to go out and intentionally live a life of love and join Jesus on his mission, using up those 3,000 hours, not in a way that just kind of wastes them, but in a way that really utilizes them to help disciple our children to be lifelong followers of Jesus. Turning over, that doesn't work. Teaming up, that works well.
So, who's in your village? Maybe they're in this room right now.